If you have been working with business intelligence tools, be it Looker Studio, Power BI, Tableau, you notice you could seamlessly click on a data point and it filters across other visuals. And this is not untrue about Looker Studio or Data Studio. Data Studio has this feature, but you have to enable it. In Power BI, as long as your data is well modeled, this happens automatically. But in Looker Studio, you need to enable it. And this has been working well in Looker Studio or Data Studio. I keep mentioning it. Sorry, the new name now is Data Studio. But this has its own limitation because it works only within a data source. It doesn't work across multiple data sources. And if you want it to work across multiple data sources, you need to blend your data in Looker Studio before you present the blended data. Then it works. But now the new changes is that you can actually keep this data apart and also do some cross-filtering and it will work. And that is what I want to introduce you right now. So let's hop in. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is me, Kingsley. And if you're new to this channel, I say welcome. Thank you for visiting us. Here I share solutions that will help you at your workplaces if you're working as a data analyst, or solutions that will get you job ready. So we are doing hands-on. We don't beat about the bush. It is purely hands-on and we work on technologies that will help you in the future and today, not outdated technology. So I encourage you to subscribe so that you join this family and like this video whenever you start getting value. Don't be in a hurry to like it, but when you start getting value, the best way to appreciate me is to give it a like. And that also applies to my amazing current subscribers. Thank you for always supporting me. Now let's head on to this. All right, so I'm going to also build a little background on this. Currently, I am on a new page or on a new report, and notice that I have got three sources here, which is supply chain. You can see that on all the fields around it. I've got the shipping data, you can see them, and I have also got the sales data. If I quickly head on to resources and go to manage data sources, these are all my data sources. Let us head on to edit this data source. All right, I want to quickly do something. If I add a new field, notice something here. It automatically generated a field ID and it starts with calculated field. For a new field you're adding, which is usually a calculated field, it starts with calculated field. When I give it a name and perform the calculation here, save it, it creates a new field for us with a field ID. Now Looker Studio uses this field ID concept to identify every field, and this is really important. This is how it used to make every field unique, and this is what we will need to be able to create this cross-filtering across multiple data sources. Okay, so let us move back. So we are back here and I'm going to close this. Okay, so let's pick up the data from shipping. Let's add a chart. So I'm going to pick one of the charts. Let's pick a table, leave it here. And you know how Looker Studio works. It automatically picks what it thinks that you need. So, but no, I'm going to pick what I need. This is the order number. So I will pick this order date. I will put it here and remove the other one. Good. So I'm going to go for something like quantity. I'll put it in my metric and remove the other one. So I'm happy with this. All right. So the next thing I want to do now is to create another chart. So possibly this time around, let's do the bar chart. Okay, so I'll click out and add another chart. Okay, so the bar chart, yeah, that works for me. So in the bar chart, I will pick up quantity again. Yeah, quantity is already picked up. Good. So let me pick up another thing. We pick up the order status. Have it here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this now. Okay, so quickly, let us enable the cross filter. So I'm going to go there, and this chart interaction, I'm going to enable cross filtering. So I have enabled the cross filtering. I will enable it here too. At the bottom, enable this, and easily I will go to view. So when I click here, it filters around here. If I click it out again, it goes out. If I click here, it filters around here, and that cross filtering interaction is there. And this is working perfectly as it's always worked around Looker Studio. However, this is just the same data source, and that's why it's working really well. Now, when it turns comes to another data source, what happens? So I'm going to push this up a little. The bottom here, let's bring in another chart, and this, sorry about that. Another chart, I'm going to get a line chart, put it here. So this is going to come from another data source. Right now it is pointing to this, but this is pointing to facts table, and this is pointing to facts table, but I don't want facts table, so I'm going to change it to shipping. Good. Now, if I go to the view mode again, so if I click on any data point here, so you see, nothing is happening. Good. So perhaps I needed to enable cross filter. So I come here, enable the cross filtering, and I will go back. Again, I will click here. It's filtered around here. I will click it out again. Click here, it filters around here. But then nothing happens here. That's what we're talking about. So let me clear the filter. Come down here, click here. It filters itself. It didn't happen here. No interaction at all here. And this is purely because these two data sets are different. They don't have any form of communication. But today we are going to see how we can get them to filter amongst themselves. And to be able to achieve this, I told you about the field ID. This is what it needs to be able to filter. And to make that work, you need to pick a particular field that they will be filtering on. This time we're going to pick the date. So if I come here, this is the delivery date here. This is the shipping quantity here. If I come here, this is the order date and this is the shipping quantity. Right, so I think I'm good with this. So let's work on that. Now, to be able to achieve this, what we want to do is to create a common field that interact with the both of them. To get a common field, they need to have a common ID. And if you want to know more about how this works, you come to this documentation, which I will leave in the description below in this video. So to achieve this, we are working with order date for this visual and delivery date for this. You can also change these delivery dates to shipping date. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to resource, and pick up the manage field names and ID. When I click there, it asks me to add field override. So what this essentially does is, if I add field override, any particular field I try to override, it will override its ID. That's how it works. Okay, so click here, pick a data source. So let's go with fact first and go to the order dates. Now notice that has to also show the date icon because it needs to be of the same data type. I will name it date. Well, common order dates, something like this. Right, so I will give it an ID. I will say 111222333. Give it any ID you want. So I'll copy this ID so I don't forget. Right, save it. So I have saved this. Now let me also create another one. This was on the facts table. Let's create for the shipping table. So the shipping table, and the field we are using for this is the delivery date. Remember, this needs to have the same data type. All right, so I can name it common shipping date. No, delivery date. Sorry about that. Let's be consistent. Good. Now on the ID, I'm going to give the same ID because that is what it uses to override. Okay, so now we have been able to create this. Remember, see the data sources? We have the facts table and the shipping. So I'm going to close this. Now notice that these two tables no longer works because their date ID have been overwritten by the new field I created. So instead of this order date for the facts table, I will pick the common order date I created. I will add it here and that will pop up the date. The date did not change. What just changed is the ID or the field ID. So it came up with that. And of course, I can always go here and change the display name as I want. I can name it date. It doesn't really matter. So, and then I will come here again. This doesn't really work. So I'm going to pick the common date that I created. Okay. So if I like, I can change it to date. That's the flexibility of Looker Studio. Good. So we are happy. Now let's go to the view and see how this works. Okay, so if I filter here, it filters here and it filters here. Isn't it beautiful? And if I disable the filter, come and filter here, it filters here and it filters here. Isn't that beautiful? So guys, that is how wonderful this particular feature is. And that's how to create that common field. If you got value from this video, again, give it a like, share it amongst your friends. They need to start using this amazing tool. It is beautiful. I am loving it. So that is it about cross filtering, cross multiple data sources. You can try it. It is fantastic. I love it. And then which one would I prefer between this and blending the data? Well, this is quick. If you want, you can use this and you'll still be in control of whatever that is happening around your data set. And that is it. Remember, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Until I see you again, keep analyzing.